So today we will start with the payrolls building blocks. So last session we went with this work rule building blocks. So this session we will go with these items, payroll building blocks. So before that, Kiran, a quick overview on what we saw yesterday also. Yesterday, main item what which you need to know is the holidays. So for a particular year, what we'll have a set of holidays for each companies, right? State-wise, there will be some holidays. National-wide, there will be some holidays. So all these things are stored under this holidays. Under pay policy, there is a holiday. So here, what we will have is we will have a holiday name. We will have the what display name it should provide the Kronos, and then just the date. If it is New Year, means 1/1/2/1/2. That is 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. If it's a state holiday or national holiday or just a particular region's holiday, everything will be loaded here, and then this will be assigned to the payroll based on the region wise. So we will have different payrolls for different states.
Okay, anyway, you are providing the recorded videos, no? I'll go through.
Yeah, regarding holidays, this is what we just create it and save it. That's it. We'll give the date. That's it.
Okay.
Nothing here.
Anyway, I'll go through that. If I find any issues, I'll get that.
Yeah. So that's about the holidays, and then we jump into the payroll building blocks. So what we have in the payroll building blocks is we'll come to the holiday credit rules at the last. We have sign-off restriction, punch interpretation, processing order, fixed rules, and work period guide. Okay. First, we will go to sign-off restriction. What is sign-off restrictions? This will not be applicable to all the payrolls, and it's not mandatory. Okay. If needed, we can use it. Even all the four options is like a optional only, but most companies use punch interpretation, and fixed rule is kind of mandatory. And most companies use punch interpretation rule also. So first, let's see what is sign-off restriction. Sign-off restriction means nothing. So once a particular pay period is complete, the manager will go into his the employee's time card and will try to approve his time card. Right? Once a particular week, or if it is a bi-weekly, the manager will go in and will try to approve his time card. So at that time, we know that there are two levels of approval. One is normally approving the time card, which is here, and the second one is signing off. That is the second level of approval. You are aware of this, right? First level is normal approving of the time card, and second level is sign off. So first level is mostly done by the manager, and second level would be by either by the HR or the payroll admin. So once we try to sign off the time card, we can have some restriction that if an employee is having a missed punch or if he's having an unexcused absence, we can make the system to throw an error when he's trying to sign off, and we'll ask him to fix it out. Example, if you see this particular condition, here the employee is having one unexcused absence. The employee is scheduled to work, but he is not available. So we are like, in this case, the manager needs to, manager or the payroll admin, he needs to enter something here in the pay code, like unexcused absence, and put some hours to that. Like unpaid means we need to put something and cover it up so that this exception goes off. Only then the manager he will be able to do it. Or if an employee is on the vacation for this particular day, he needs to enter it and fix this particular exception. Only then he will be able to save it out. Right now it's not going, but usually when you put vacation, it will be gone. So it's based on the pay code. And again, one more item is missed punches. Sometimes the employees might, when we swipe in and swipe out, right, we might miss to swipe in. Here the employee is scheduled to work at 4 a.m. He might have missed to swipe in and he would have only swiped out. So in that case, the employee will be having missed punch. So the manager or the payroll admin needs to fix it. So if we enable the tick mark there, like this, to not allow when the employee is having missed bunches means, in that case, the manager needs to fix the missed bunch. Only in then the system will allow him to do the sign off. If now I try to do the sign off, it will throw some error. Currently, we have not mapped, but if you have mapped something, it will say like unable to sign off. That is what this does. This is an optional one. It's not used widely, but some companies will use it for the missed punches so that the manager is aware of it. It is just to throw an error when he is trying to approve, like when he's trying to approve the time card or sign off the time card. Any doubts on this? Clear on this? If needed, we can create one. We can create, say, I'll create for Australian. Create one for our payroll also. We'll create Australian P and we'll say that when the employee is having missed punches, it should not allow him to sign off his time card. Done. We are saving it. So we have one sign off restriction that if an employee is having missed punches, it will not allow him to sign off. Done. And now that's all about sign off restriction. Now let's go to work week divide. So if you see here, currently no one is using it. Whoever has done the training here has not created anything. I'll just give an overview. This is not used much. So this, for what purpose we use is standard by Kronos. It will follow Sunday through Saturday as a particular week, or Monday through Sunday. If you see here, a particular pay period will start on Monday. Example, if I say, you see here a particular pay period, as if current, like if I sign off it, it signs off from this Sunday through this Saturday. So a particular pay period is starting from 11/6. From 11/6 to 11/12 is what a particular pay period. It starts on Sunday and ends on Saturday. This is how by default Kronos does. If some companies needs that to be changed, and then they can use this. What is the split day of the week? Currently, we have it as Sunday. If they want to change that, they can choose a particular day and particular time. So usually it's 12 a.m. So that from that particular day, the pay period will start. Currently, it's starting on Sunday. If you want to change the pay period to start on a different day, then we can do that. Any confusion here?
No, just changing the standard one, right?
Yeah. When the work week starts or the pay period starts, that's it. Usually, we will not do it. Yeah. Some companies might have discrepancy and say that their work week will start on Monday. Few companies. In that case, they will ask the Kronos to change it by default to Monday, so that Kronos can do. Or for few location alone, if they want to change it out, then they will do it here. Okay. So that is the reason no one has created it. Usually, we will not do it. That is about the work week divide. Then what we need to know is we'll go through the processing order. This is also a least used one. So let me open one of the existing and show you. Here, what we do is usually Kronos will process the items based on a particular order. Example, if you see here, we will have all the overtimes, we'll have all the zones, we will have like whatever we have created, these items will come here. Let me scroll down. All the schedule deviation, all the zones, rest between shifts, so everything will come here. This will be processed in a normal order, how we have configured it in the combination rule or the pay code distribution, which like when both of them come, which should get priority. and how it should be paid, everything we have already configured. But what this processing order does it, we can give like apart from the priority which we have given in the combination rule, we can bypass that and give a super priority a particular overtime or something. Say whatever happens, let it happen. But when this particular overtime comes, then it should get the first priority. Means we can give it like that. We can select and put it here so that whatever it is, when this overtime comes, this will get the first priority. Apart from other zones or whatever may be the system, this will get the first priority. It will bypass whatever we have configured in combination rule and payload distributions. This may not be used, but I'm just giving you an overview. Because normally this will be processed chronologically how it is configured. If you want to bypass them and give a priority to a particular overtime or zone, we can use this.
Okay.
Now let me go to the punch interpretation rule. 1 second. One second, I will start it. Okay, so punch interpretation rule, this has some importance. So let me tell you how it works. So there are two options here. One is simple and one is full. So let's start with the simple one. First, we'll configure this store. We'll give the same name hostility. What this does is, we can like say employees are scheduled to work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So we can here define up to how much time before or after the employee can start to work. Say we can give a margin of 1 hour before which the employee can start. That means up from 7 to 8 he can start to work. But if he's coming before 7 and trying to swipe in the clock, we can reject that punch. Getting me what I'm telling? So if an employee,
yes, exactly. Yeah. They will not allow before 7 o'clock, right?
yeah.
We
If
can,
I give in the in the early
See.
start restriction, I need to give 1 hour. That means whatever the time he's scheduled to work, up to 1 hour before he can punch in. If he tries to punch in before 1 hour, it will reject it. And again, what is this early start margin and late start margin means? If an employee is trying to like punch in before 1 hour, it will reject it. Okay, right now I have not configured this properly. I'm just giving you an example. But if I give restriction, I don't want to reject a punch. But let's say like I am not rejecting any punch, but let's keep it like 24. So it will not reject any punch, whatever the times employee comes in. But what I can do is another item. What I can do is if you see here, this employee starts from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If I give 5 a.m. and 2 p.m. here, if you can see here, and if I save it, okay, it's currently taking it along with the schedule. Whatever the time if I give, it is taking it with the schedule, right? Even if I give 3 a.m., it is taking with the schedule. In the same line, it's coming. Now, if I give 3 a.m., you can see here, the schedule goes in another row. This becomes an unscheduled punch. You can see here, right? What I'm doing.
Yeah.
So this is where the margin starts. We saw restriction. What margin says means, if I give early start margin as 4 hours, if his schedule is starting at 8 a.m., that means 7, 6, 5, 4. Up to 4 a.m. he can start. If he starts at 4 a.m., the system will consider him along with the schedule line. You can see here, right? Now it has come back again to this one, and it will show early start or late start, whatever. But if I give something before that 4 a.m., which is more than the 4 hours window, what it will do, it will create a new line stating that this is unscheduled punch. So stating that the system will not consider the employee has worked on this shift. He has come randomly sometime else. So that is what we have for early start margin. And same for late start margin. Late start margins, if a shift starts and he comes to work up to 4 hours after the shift start, it will consider along with the shift. If he's coming more than 4 hours and 1 minute, it will consider him to be an working in an unscheduled shift. Clear on this?
Yeah.
So in our case, what we will do is we'll create a one which states early start margin is 1 hour. Okay, and early start restriction is 2 hours. Late start margin is again 1 hour. So that means he can come to work and punch in within 1 hour of before or after, it will consider it to be with the shift. Okay. But if he is coming more than 1 hour later, more than 1 hour early, it will not consider him to the shift, but it will allow him up to 2 hours. If he is trying to start before 2 hours, it will reject the punch. Same with the late, we have for late also, we have late restriction. Up to 1 hour after his shift ends, he can punch out. If he is trying to punch out more than 1 hour late, it will not allow him. Again, what we have here is missed punch, start and end margin. So this is how here I have given 1 hour. What this means let me give it as maybe 3 hours. My shift starts at 8 o'clock. And I see there is no the system sees my shift started at 8 o'clock and its system will wait till 9, 10, and 11. 3 hours it will wait and see if he is putting punch for that particular day. If he is not putting a punch for that particular day, up to 3 hours, if there is no swipes received from the clock, it will flag it as missed punch. So after how many hours of the shift start, the system should consider that the employee has missed a punch. So let's go into the last item, which is the mandatory one used across the other outputs, which is, let me first save it out. And we have one more option here, which show you that whether we need to allow these unscheduled punch or not, that we can define here. Okay, and again, if I change this to full option, means we'll get some additional options here along with what we have. There is what to say, along with the late start restriction, there is late start margin also. So we previously we had only early start restriction. Now we have late start restriction, and again we'll have some additional options. That's it. And what else we have? And also what this full add is, we can have same restriction for the breaks also. How much time he can take a break, after how much time if he takes a break, we need to start it as a we need to cancel it out, and how soon, if you are assigning a break at 12 a.m., how soon he can start. Okay, 15 minutes before 12:30. So if you are assigning break at 12:30 to 1 p.m., he can start his break at the maximum from 12:15, not beyond that. And he can start the break at the late, at most 12:45, not beyond that. So that window for breaks is what we added extra if you use full. In the symbol, we will have only schedule start and schedule end. In the full options, we will also have the same punch interpretation rule for breaks if needed. Okay, so let me save and return on this. So, are you both near to the system?
Yeah.
Yeah, the previous requirement which I gave, right? Are you able to work on that requirement which I gave?
Yeah, which one? But
This, I think, once again, not this. I gave this requirement, right?
Yeah.
So next item for today is the last topic on the payrolls, which is fixed role. This has some significant importance. This will be used across all the posts. The reason is this is what defines whether the employee is weekly, bi-weekly, or like monthly. You can see here, if he is weekly, we need to choose days and give 7 here. If he is bi-weekly, we need to choose 14 here. Okay. And if he is monthly, we need to choose monthly. Semi-monthly, mostly we are not using it, but we use these 3 items. Okay. So this is what let's say that our payroll people, these all people belongs to bi-weekly. So I'm going to change them to 14 days, which is bi-weekly. And what is our day divide? When our day ends and starts, it's 12 a.m. So fine. Our day ends and starts at 12 a.m. That's fine. Then another important thing which comes is hours belong to. Why this is like we have 4 hours here: schedule in day, schedule out day, day with majority hours, and day actually work. What this means this is okay for normal shift, like first shift, second shift is fine. But there are like employees that are working in third shift. People will be working from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. In that case, the 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., which day the hours should apply? Because most of the hours the employees are working across the day. After 12 a.m., the employees are working. In that case, where the total hours should contribute whether to Monday or Tuesday. I'm working from Monday 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Tuesday. So my hours where it should voucher. Whether all the hours should go to Monday or all the hours should go to Tuesday. So if I choose schedule in day, all my hours for that particular day will go to Monday. If I choose schedule out day, the day I'm punching out, Tuesday, all my hours will go to schedule out day. Day with majority hours means which day I am working more hours. In this case, I'm working 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. on Monday and then 12 p.m. to 6 a.m. on Tuesday. So more hours on our Tuesday. So that will go to Tuesday. It will randomly define. Day actually work means it will separate it. Okay. 2 hours you have worked on Monday, 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. It goes to Monday. Then 12 p.m. to again 5 a.m. Whatever you have worked on Tuesday, it will segregate for both the days. Clear on this? I'm going with schedule in day itself. Clear?
So scheduled in day is just for the same day, right?
Yeah, when we have punched in, the day which we have punched in, all the hours worked on that particular shift will go to that day.
Okay. And if it's 2 different days, then it's
for that
like
area only, this we will have this confusion. And that time, so that's what 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I'm having a shift. Monday 10 p.m. to Tuesday 6 a.m. So if I choose schedule in day, whatever the hours I worked on that particular shift will count to Monday's total. It will consider that Monday I have worked 8 hours.
Okay.
If I choose schedule out day, it will say I have worked the entire 8 hours on Tuesday. If I choose days with majority hours, which day I have worked more hours? In this case, I have worked more hours on Tuesday only, around 6 hours. So the entire hours goes to Tuesday. They actually work means it will segregate. Okay, so up to 12 a.m. goes to Monday, after 12 a.m. goes to Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, we have created these items now. So let's assign these to our payroll. Okay, so let's go to the payrolls. We'll pick our payroll. Let's first start with the fixed role. We'll pick our fixed role, Australian FT. Okay, yeah. Then processing order, we are not going to do anything. Punch interpretation tool, we have our own punch interpretation tool. Done. Then sign off restriction, we have our own. Let's put that also. Done. So that's it. And again, as I told you, Kiran, we have created holidays in this holiday list. Whatever the holidays needed in this holiday, what we did is we just give the holiday name, what date the holiday is. So where to see which employees are applicable for what holidays? That is through payrolls. Payrolls, we have a different tab called holiday tab. We can choose what are the holidays which is applicable to this particular payroll. So I'm selecting few holidays here, and I'll just click on update version. and save. So these employees will have these holidays and the items whichever we have created. The fixed rule, processing order, and margin percent, so on. So now it's time we'll test it out to our payroll. Okay, let's pick the employee with whom we have assigned this. I'm not sure whether this is the guy. So now let's test our payroll. This is the employee we have assigned to it. First item we are going to see is, let me say, I'll go to next paper. So you can see now the pay period is coming for 2 weeks, which is based on our fixed payroll, 14 days. You can see that, right?
Yeah.
So first fixed rule is working. And now we have chosen schedule in day, right? So whatever the hours work will go to that particular day only. You see here, if I put 8 a.m. To maybe 2 a.m. Even if it's crossing the 12 a.m., the total hours is going into that particular day only. It's not going to the next day. Clear?
Yeah.
Even after 12 he is working 2 hours, that is also going to Monday's hours only. Right? So fixed rule is working properly. Our pay period has changed to 14 days, and we see all the hours working goes into the in punch day. The day he has in punched. So that's fine. First item is working. Second item is the punch interpretation rule, which is mean like second we'll just test it out the missed punch. Okay, let's say I'll put 4:30 p.m. here. It shouldn't allow us to save it. We have a sign off restriction. Let's see. We have saved it. Now let me try to approve and then sign off. Approve, I think it would allow, but after that signing off it shouldn't allow. Okay, this is next paper. It will not. We will not signing off. We can do only on the previous paper. Okay. So how do I test it out now? No sign off. Once again, man, I need to assign the this payroll is assigned to the employee with the effective date of 1st of this month. I'll just change it to some previous date. From 11 only it is assigned. So we need to test it out for previous date means I need to give it a little bit back. Previous paper it is. Okay, somewhere around 10:23. This payroll with the effective date of 10:23. Sign off, we can test it only on the previous paper. So where is 10:23? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what was this error?
No, it was just throwing out the refresh error.
Oh.
System, like before sign off, I opened this page, right? So once I refresh it, it will go. Sometimes it will go. There will be a lag between this window and this window. That's fine.
Okay.
Just refreshing it so that it's going. Okay, now let me do one thing. I'll just delete these punches and I'll put a Mr. Punch. Now this day the employee has started 6 a.m. but he has not. He might have missed to punch in, or sometimes the system might have some issues and it didn't capture his punch. So now he has missed punch. Let me try to sign off. Yeah, you can see here, right? The time card cannot be signed off because it contains one or more violation. And the violation, it is stating what is the violation. It is stating missed punch. You can see missing punches. So for unexcused absence and missing punches, we can have this. But unexcused absence will not be mostly using it. For missed punches, we'll be using it. Missed punches because the employee has worked, his total hours will be missed out. If you see, currently is having 0. Only if the manager fixes it with 6 a.m., then it will allow him to get the payment. So it will affect the payment. So mostly we'll have it for missed punches. So that is one thing. Then we have tested sign up restrictions also. Next, what we do, I'll remove it from. So sign of restriction. Okay, now we need to test the punch interpretation rule. So as per our punch interpretation rule, if an employee starts at 8 a.m. up to 7 a.m., he will, if he punches at up to 7 a.m., it should consider it to be in the same line with the shift. If he's punching before 7, it should leave him out of the shift. So 7 a.m. I'm punching in, it's showing early in only, but it is considering along with the shift itself. So now let me try to put it at 6:30 a.m. I'm trying to save it. Okay, now it went out of the shift because that's how we have created our punch interpretation. Let me open the punch interpretation tool so that you'll get an idea of what exactly we are testing. So up to 1 hour before, it's a early start margin. It will keep us within the shift. And same for late start also. So if you are testing up to 7 a.m., it allowed us inside the same line. Once we go beyond 1 hour, it will consider it to be an unscheduled punch. Clear on what we are testing? And again, we have another item, which is before 2 hours, if the employee tries to punch in, it should reject the punch. Okay, so that means by the system, I'm not sure whether we'll be able to test it. This will happen through clocks. So if my past shift is starting at 8 a.m., if I'm trying to punch in by 5:50 a.m., now here in the time card it's allowing, but usually how the employee do is they will swipe in and swipe out, right? When they are swiping in and out, if you put a restriction of 2 hours, in that device it will say the punch is rejected and it will not flow to time card. Clear? And same for the latent restriction. After 1 hour, his shift is ending at 4:30 p.m. If he's trying to punch out after 5:30 p.m., as per the configuration which you have created, the particular clock or the device which is using to swipe out will reject his punch. Clear? If we manually enter, it will accept it because we are not the employee, we are the super user. We can enter whatever the hours we want in the time card. Same goes to the manager also. Manager also can enter, has edit his time card. But if an employee is trying to swipe in or if the employee is trying to enter the punches, it will reject it. Clear?
Clear.
That is about the punch interpretation rule. So sign off restriction, we have seen. Fixed rules was also completed. And punch interpretation rules were completed. So last one is holiday rule. So we saw how we have created holiday for the entire company. And also we saw in our pay rule how we are assigning the holidays based on a particular location or a particular country or a particular region. We can select what are the holidays applicable to that particular pay. Now we need to see how an employee is getting paid for that. How many hours should be paid, how it is getting paid, how many, under what pay code he needs to get paid for a holiday. So that all depends on holiday credit rules. So what this does is, example, I'll open this holiday credit rule. We can assign this to a pay rule, okay, pay rule or the work rule. What this does is we need to first see how we are going to pay him. And is there any condition for the holiday credit to be provided? Say we can say the employee should work before and after the day to get the holiday credits. If he's not working before or after the day, that means for him he is not eligible for holiday credits. We can give like conditions, or we can give this condition: either one day before or after he should be working. Only then he will get the holiday credit. We can define these conditions here. Okay, and there are some other options like there are work history phase, which is not needed, and we can also have these items. To get a particular holiday credit, the employee should be at least employed for 30 days or 90 days. Like usually the companies will have probation periods, right? It will be 3 months or 6 months. In that particular time, if a particular company has a rule for not giving any holidays credits on that, but they will be able to take leave, but there are no payment for that. We can define it here. We can say 90 days. So for 90 days, from the time employee, first 90 days, you will not get any holiday credits. After 90 days only, you will start accruing it. So these conditions we can give or it can be based on the time employed, or it can be based on the time he's active on the application. Time employed means some people might be employed, they might start this month, and after 2 months, they might go in a maternity leave, and then they will come back after 1 year. So 6 months or 7 months. In that case, this particular days employed will not work because it will just see the higher date. But in that case, active can work because they have worked only 2 months and then now they are inactive. They will come back again after 6 or 7 months, and then they will work 1 or 2 months. Only then this will consider it to be 90 days. That is difference between days employed and days active. Okay, these are just conditions. What are the conditions to be met to provide a holiday credit? The credit, this is just the eligibility, as I said here. So credits is here in this column. Here we will define, okay, whether it's a fixed number of hours or hours from the schedule. So other items we will not be mostly using it. The two items which we will be using it is fixed number of hours and hours from the schedule. Hours from the schedule means it is pretty straightforward. For that particular day, what schedule he's having. Okay, this guy is having 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and out of that 30 minutes break. That means he's having 8 hours schedule. So directly it will provide 8 hours of holiday credit. If an employee is having 6 hours schedule, it will provide 6 hours of holiday credit. Directly it will fetch it from the schedule. What schedule he has, how many number of hours he has in the schedule, it will provide there. Or if you want to give them a fixed hours, we can, okay, I'm going to give, irrespective of what he is having, I'm going to give him all the holidays in 8 hours. And the next item here is which pay code. Here we are using a pay code called holiday credit. If you want to choose a different pay code and pay him in a different way, we can choose all the pay codes, whichever we have created, OT 1.0, 2.5, regular, everything will be here. What pay code the particular credit needs to go, we can select it from here. So here by default, it is having a credit pay code called holiday credit. It's using that. So other items, we need not to change anything. It will be by default what it is there. Everything goes on to what pay code we have selected here. Okay, so only thing we need to choose here is whether it's based on the hours from the schedule or fixed number of hours. If it is fixed number of hours, we need to give what hours. If you are choosing hours from the schedule, no need to give anything. Amount will automatically consider from the shift the employee works. And again, if we choose hours from the schedule, there is one more option. If there are multiple shifts for a day, what shift the system should consider? We can use the first shift, use the sum of all shifts. Usually, it will not happen. For a particular day, employee will have only one shift. So this is in case if an employee is working in night shift, right, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. and again, next day also you have 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. In that case, you can say use the first shift. And here again, the same thing, hours belong to. If an employee is in the third shift, which day the hours should belong to, whether it should belong to in day, out day, day with majority hours, or day actually work. Or we can directly use, say, no need to confuse anything. Whatever we have given already in the fixed rule, let it follow the same thing. So usually we'll do that only, use fixed rule setting. Mostly this will be like fixed hours only. They will be getting 8 hours of credit for each of the hours they worked on the holiday. So this is actually holiday credit rule is basically if an employee doesn't work on the holiday. Because usually we will not work on the holiday, but these hourly employees are entitled to get payment for public holidays. So that is the purpose we have this. Let me just duplicate this and I'll create a new one for Austrian FT. I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to change it to Australian FT. We are going to give the employee 8 hours of credit irrespective of what he has worked under the paper. This I think we need to map it in work rule. Let me see. Yeah. So holiday credit rule currently is now I'm just choosing Australian FT. That's it from here. So with this, we have almost completed all the items in the pay policies.